Today we've been at the airfield flying, and it was a very good turnout, you may say. A lot of our members came out to fly. But here is my workshop, and this is good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, but I make a new little movie about as the propeller turns. I'm not much of a football fan, as you may have guessed, but let's go here. This is what this is all about. You see, I'm gonna show you one of my 4-meter gliders, the 4-meter glider. So as you can see here, it's a asw15. It's a scale glider. So it's a very good flying glider. I got was made in Japan. I bought it in Canada. It's a bit much to build, but it is a ARF, but you gotta do a lot to complete it, and this one does normally not come as a electric glider, so I converted it. It has hundreds of lights on it. It flies very good. It needs light lift, and it will reward you with a no sink, a little bit more lift, and up you go. So it's a composite. Let's see, the wings I bring out in a moment are not composite. They are sheeted balsa wings, and they have air brakes and flaps. Let me take a seat and show you this a little bit on the inside. Here is the cabin, and you have to assemble this and make it somehow work. Let me show you how I did this. Here, you cut the glass out, or the plastic, and I see these little screws here. I made sure I have a mechanical component involved. Then up here, you glue those little pins I did. It comes with a different mechanism, but I didn't want that, and then you click, it be closed. There's a little cutout because the battery is a bit higher, and that's the inside, very spacious. It has a fantastic very durable retract gear that I did not put a gear door on it. Let's see here. Let's put this. Let's see. It could be having a gear door, but I never got around to that. This is the hook up here for the wings. On the other side is the same thing. This one here is also a composite, like the body. These can be taken off. I never do. It fits in my truck relatively good. And I'm gonna put those wings on, or at least get them out next and show you that. Here's how I did the motor. I put a firewall in, and just like that, it works well. I have a lemon receiver in this one. Was a satellite receiver. The satellite receivers are good, so you can get from all different angles good reception without any brownouts. I got this speed controller from Hobby King many years ago. It works very good. I have a similar one in another airplane, actually exact same one in another airplane. I like them very much, especially for glider. Mostly it's just full off, full on. It has, this particular one has a thinner construction. First you think, oh man, it's a bit flimsy, but it's not flimsy, as you can see, and the somewhat thinner construction, it gives you a lighter airplane that in turn thermals on relative light thermals. I have more stronger build airplanes, and then the fuselage gets heavy, but it is up to the task, and like I said, it has many flights on it, and had never any problem with it. Now I must tell you, I fly gliders like gliders fly. I don't do loops and rolls unless I have a glider that is made for that. But with a normal glider, I just fly him with the motor. I bring him to height. I switch the lift device off the motor, and I hunt for thermals. That's if I find them. Then if not, after I come down slowly but surely, I might bring it up again and hunt some more. Typically I have a few lifts in this one. If I'm not successfully right away, then yeah. But often I find no sink and the thermal with this one, and it's very rewarding that way. You can look this one up by the number and you will see the full-scale version of it. It's built in Czechoslovakia, I think. Like I said, it's asw15B, and here's the number, 1911. So let me get the wings and bring this a step further for you. It is a 4-meter glider. This is a very lovely size on gliders. I have larger, much larger, but 4 meter, they're not too heavy, and they do fly already very scale-like. So let's get the wings, and I put them on there, preparing for my next day out. So with the gliders. Well, here I'm back, and I attached one wing. You get a little bit of feel of the size of that pup. 4 meter is already pretty good size. That's how I attach the wing, and then here I have to fiddle a little bit, not too much. I'm gonna do that and then put the other side on. you see that I connected now these plugs. This is just to not lose these wires inside, so I remove that, put on here to not lose that, and then I guide those wires in and put that wing on. Now I need my 2 hands for that, but I will show you once on. Here we are back with 2 wings on. I want to show you this. I have a screw that I can attach the wing by, but lately I've been just putting a little piece of tape on here. I did it already. See here, a little piece of tape. I fold it over here, so, and then I put it on here in this gap that keeps the wing on. When the wing gets a load, it kind of automatically doesn't want to come out. And since I'm not flying any aerobatics with this one, but just regular glider routines, I don't need that much of a screw. Let me show you. It's a big puppy. It's 4 meter, but yet not that big. But you can already see it. It's where I usually park my truck here. It's going to take this up easily. And I show you here. There is inside. I have retaining screws that, as I said, lately I'm not using because I'm like the convenience of that, and if I'm not goofing up my tape like this, then it looks much cleaner. You can hardly see, but for the purpose of putting it here together, so I can show you this glider, it'd be fine. Here you have the air brake, so, and then here you have the flaps, and here you have the ailerons. They are skin hinged, they call that. The skin creates the hinge here too, and that's very convenient. Now it lands on a wheel. How do I start it? Well, if I had help, I could hand launch it, but I do card launch it. And let me get my card and I'll show you that, so you don't have to guess what all that means. If you hear some Mexican music, it's my neighbor. On the weekend he likes to play music, and I don't mind. The Mexican music doesn't bother me. I don't know what they're singing, but here's my card next to my motorcycle, and I'm gonna get that out. In the day I bought this card as a kit. It came, you put it together. It has bigger wheels, which is nice if your runway is not super smooth. They're like off-road wings. So anyway, it goes like this. The wings, they here, the body here, wings here, and then boop, it lifts off that contraption. One of my friends or myself usually retrieves the glider cart off the runway, and it's clear to land when the time comes. and here it flies, and has a wheel to land on. So that's how I launch the glider. You can see that on the internet in other videos, pretty good too. I'm gonna install the battery and I'll show you how that looks when it's all operating. I just realized that the retaining screws, I put this here so I can store them. These are the retaining screws. I can put them here from the inside, left, right. But then, like I said, it seems to suffice. But I like to have them in case I want to do that. Let me put the batteries in the hood, and I'll show you how it looks when it operates. Here is my radio, my trusted NX10 and asw15 for meter. You see, Andreas, here you have my name. 5 minutes. If I, let's say, go with the timer, it starts counting down. Not when I switch off, it doesn't switch off, you know, it's just like 5 minutes, and then it flips after 5 minutes, and it counts back up. Then I can, or keeps counting down, I forget, but I will be able to fly this for 10 minutes if I need a lot of lift help from the motor. But if I find thermal, then man, you can fly forever. Well, not literally, but a half hour is not unheard of, and so on. Here I have my
flaps up, takeoff flaps, landing flaps,
my
flaps up,
my sliders, and then the switches I have also to speed. These ones are not.
Time remaining 4 minutes. Up, retracts down. Up, retracts down.
The retract gear. These switches are not. These ones are more hooked up.
Normal mode, rolling mode.
Rolling mode means that I slave ailerons and flaps together, so I have a more aggressive rolling.
Mix off, mix on, mix off,
In the mix, when I say that,
mix on,
I mean I mix the ailerons with the rudder, so I get coordinated turns, especially if you're higher up or further away and you don't really see how well you coordinate. If you want to do this just by hand, then it has its benefits, because it automatically will coordinate a little bit and so on. But now let me hook it up and show you. And now I switch perspective again, so I can say goodbye and thanks for watching as the propeller turns. And here's me and the glider. Maybe that's a good shot. I was flying today, and one of my club mates, Richard, he said, hey, I haven't had as the propeller turns in a while, and I was really thrilled that he asked me for that. So I sit here on Super Bowl Sunday, and I made this one. Inevitably, you see all kinds of airplanes here. So here we are, batteries hooked up. Let's just start with the retract gear. Here's up and down. Here I have motor off on. It's my motor safety switch.
motor on, motor off.
Let's turn the motor on, and it's here, so you will. That's how the motor works. Let's switch my
Motor off.
safety switch back on, so in case I accidentally bump this, nothing happens. Here I explained this, and let's look at it. So here you have it in rolling mode. So you see this one goes a little bit. If I go up or down, left or right, this landing flap goes with it. If I put it on normal mode, then this flap will not move, just the aileron. It depends on how I feel. It has enough authority with the aileron, but if I wanted to have a strong reaction and control, then let's see here. I actuate the aileron, see, and my now I have the mix off. I switch mix on. Now I switch mix on, then I aileron, my rudder will go, and in this way I can have a coordinated turn higher up, far away, without me doing it manually, which I usually like, but also computerized. So then what? Oh yes. Then here's the ailerons. Sorry, landing flaps. Here's takeoff flaps, landing flaps, and then of course on the other you have. Let's see if I'm speed brake open. Half. Speed brake close, and then you have simultaneously on both wings, so you can kill lift with these speed brakes. That's what they do. They interrupt the airflow, and so your wing descends. If you get in really strong thermals, you might benefit from it. Landing, it also benefits. You can make sure that the airplane can be taken down a little steeper, and if you want to give it a bit more lifted low, then you can even use the landing flaps. So these are your landing aids, the flaps and the speed brakes. Now you see the whole thing hooked up and ready to fly. Now I'm going to load it in my truck, and after the rain we're supposed to get, when I go out next, I plan on taking this one up. Even if you don't find thermals, I mean, you can fly it for a while in the air, but typically I find something. So this is a good glider, and the thermal's good. So here I show you the next step. I put the battery in. It has very little clearance between the battery and the prop shaft, but there is clearance. And here I have a mark somewhere. Here it shows me where the battery approximately needs to be, and I strap it down, but I also have it attached to this board with a little bit of Velcro in this case. Even so, normally I prefer just anti-skid material like you use it in a drawer. But on this one I have Velcro on the battery and over here. So then here my hood comes in handy. You see the battery is black, the hood is black, and here it's on pretty good, and it typically doesn't need to be taped down here, but I can, and that's why I have this. Let's just show you. It can come off, but if I wanted to have that as flush as possible, then I just use this. But when I have it on, like I usually do just here, it also acts as a what do you call it? It leads the airstream over a gap that could arise here, or can. In this particular instance, I need to strap the battery down a little better, then this gap will disappear just like this. I'm gonna hook it up and show you how it operates. Again, as the propeller turns, and thank you and goodbye. Have a good day and see you next time.